address it head on. More advice, improve the speed, references, have more expertise. This is a breakout not by the type of property, but for all buyers. And again, improve the speed of communication comes up, on top. So that's a look at kind of your home buyer demographic. And let me switch now and talk about the sellers. And again, this survey, we just actually got the slides back about a week and a half ago. So let me start with an overview. One of the things you need to know is that you're working with a lot more people that are selling a home for the first time. And unfortunately, many of these are people that bought in 04, 05, 06, or 07, or who bought earlier than that and refied out and got themselves into a very thin equity position and now need to sell. But 44% of our sample said this was the very first time that they had sold a house. Primary reason for selling a home, well, it used to be, I'm trading up, I want a different neighborhood, I'm looking for better schools. What we see today is my payment went up, I'm in trouble, I can't make my mortgage payment. So there's a lot of distress, as you know, with some of the sellers that you're meeting with. The answers to kind of the open-ended question with respect to what's driving their decision to sell, you can see just really clearly here. For years, income, mortgage, uncertainty about jobs, rates didn't enter into it at all. And in 2009, 58% of them said, my income is not keeping up with my expenses, or my mortgage is just too expensive. What kind of mortgages did these sellers have? Look at how many of them had a 228 or 327, who had those kind of, fixed, short, low rates, adjusting, I'm in trouble. So that was kind of interesting. What were their concerns going into the selling process? Time and sales price. How long is this going to take, and what am I going to get for my home? Historically, buyers acquiring a mortgage in 04 to 07 didn't even show up. In 08 and 09, it was a major concern of sellers. Is this guy going to be able to get financing? We also found that in 2009, they lived in their home for a shorter period of time than the people that sold in 2008. And I think, again, this is correlated with the type of adjustable mortgage that we were looking at. Here's the amount of time that the percent that lived in a home for 2 years or less. So that's the financial issues. Weeks it took to sell their home. Look at those first-time sellers were in a lot of hurry. The experienced sellers were willing to take a little bit more time to get their price. The first-time sellers needed to move quickly. Had their home fallen out of escrow before this sale? Look at these numbers, 53% of them. 68% of the experienced sellers had been in escrow before it fell out, right? That's interesting. Why did it fall out of escrow? Well, my buyer backed out, they couldn't get a mortgage. Financing is so critical. How many agents have you had? Did you initially list your home with an agent other than the one you sold it with? 69% of the experienced sellers said yes. Whoa. So that's a motivation to be the second realtor, right? Or third realtor on some of these transactions. And in 2009, half of them said my escrow didn't close on time. And the reason has to do with paperwork, the loan not funding, loan approval. All of those things have made escrows just a lot more nerve-wracking than they used to be. Initial list price, type of home sold, bit of an increase, more condos than single family in 09. That's the first time we've seen that in a long, long time, the last couple of years. We've also had a big uptick in investor sales, 27%, or 22% of the sellers said that it was an investor who purchased their home. Okay, where are the sellers getting information? 92% of the sellers saying they're using the internet as a very important part of their selling process. Here's a look at just a comparison of the internet buyers versus the internet sellers. So we even have a higher percentage of sellers on the internet. What are they doing on the internet? 2, Zillow, how much is my home worth? Number 3, Craigslist, what's the competition out there? An internet listing for a similar home, just trying to see where they fit into the marketplace. Did my agent use print advertising? They all think you do, and I suppose everybody does to a certain extent. Advertise your home on the internet, include multiple photos or a virtual tour, and that's gone way up to 78% of the sellers saying, yeah, my realtor did that for me. Where are you? Where are the listings posted? Again, remember, this isn't asking the agent, this is asking the realtor, so it's their, the seller, so it's their perception. Realtor.com, Intero, Craigslist, Zillow, my agent's website, Yahoo, 7% mentioned, Trulia. How would I compare the information I got as a seller on the internet compared to what I got from my agent? And guess what? It was, for 37% of them, it was different. It wasn't like, better or worse. It was different. 26% said the information on the internet was less useful than the information provided to you. So not quite as extreme as what we saw with the home buyers, but still there, that incredible advantage of the agent. So, did you consider not using an agent? Well, guess what happened in 2009? Not very many sellers are even considering not using an agent. How could you in a market like this? Percent that used an agent, all sellers, 2009, 99 out of 100 used an agent. We asked them, why do you use an agent? Again, off the top of their head, the responses are agents can sell the home for more. I had the opportunity earlier this week to have lunch with Alan Dalton, and I don't know how many of you remember Alan from Realtor.com, and he now has a new enterprise called Top 5, and he's just always been inspiring to me. And his tagline was always, anyone can sell your house. A realtor can sell your house for more, or I, as your agent, can sell your house for more. Here's how we're doing it, starting with decluttering, always. How many real estate agents did you interview? Okay, these numbers are the median. So in 2009, the median was 5.6. Isn't that incredible? That means there are people that are interviewing 10 listing agents before they pick one. What an opportunity to knock their socks off with your marketing presentation, right? With all the tools that you have available. What were the priorities? We actually gave them this list and asked them on a scale of 1, not very important, to 5, extremely important. Look at what the highest rated one was. Online advertising as a part of the marketing plan. And that even beat out the agent lowered their commission. So focus on the online advertising, and then below that, again, an agent offered best marketing proposals. So how are you going to market my home for sale? Absolutely, absolutely critical. Factors in selecting an agent: being prepared, qualified, but clearly now that these sellers are taking a hit because of equity loss, they're looking at you to participate in that, and I hope you will. Factors in selecting an agent, again, preparation, qualification, so on and so forth. How did you find your agent? Well, 48% of them said they had a previous transaction with you, right? So even though they found you on the internet, they actually knew you, and 30% of them said on the internet. So again, the importance of that internet. Here's a comparison. Prior transaction in the last 7 years has gone from 38% mentioning it, saying that was the case, to 48%. Internet has gone from 12% up to 30%. Farming materials dropped from 28% to 13%. For sales line from 50 to 7. Referrals from 10 to 2. So you can see kind of how that all is playing